Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy P-Funk, thinking right out here in my lab where I do what I do for you. I'm coming up with creating all kinds of concepts, so I got a nice one for you right here. It's called Spiritual Alchemist, or Spiritual Alchemy is changing what? Oneself first. If for you change anything, you need to start with you. AKA Mike, the man in the mirror. Let's go. Writism, 25 rule to live by. Storyteller, story with a message. There's a message in my story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. Thank you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission. And that's what I'm on. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. So let's get it together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through, because that's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. I appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm your spiritual alarm clock, here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself, and two, may be true. Right thinkers, let's talk about symbolical and spiritual alchemy. Is changing oneself first. I say I teach what I know, what I experience. That's what I have knowledge of. That's where my wisdom comes from. That's what I can only give you. I can't give you what I don't have. Okay, so let's go. Mastering spiritual alchemy is what changed. One who masters spiritual alchemy is what? One who changed themselves first. Okay, that's how I did it. So let me help you do it. That's why I say I'm here to do what I do for you. If you come and get it and use it, it'll work for you too. How about that? That's my guarantee. Moving on. I have yet to anybody tell me, man, that stuff don't work. Okay, moving on. I've had a person tell me, right thinking works when I use it. I said, okay, but I can tell you that why. I use it all the time. So if you want to use it when you need to, like God, sometimes y'all call with God when you need him. I never leave God. I'm with God all the time, so I ain't got to call on him. Spiritually. I was a chemist, okay? So in high school, I knew how to mix chemicals, cocaine and lactose, but we ain't going there. But yeah, I know how to play with the chemicals and get what I need done. Change it from one thing to another. Got the understanding, practiced it, used it, worked like a charm. But alchemy is a personal thing, and that's changing something from one thing to another thing, okay? Transformation of oneself. I used to be that guy. Now I'm this guy. Due to what? My alchemy, where I changed from being that way to being this way. Perfect example. I can make it fit anywhere. I can use any analogy I want. I can just draw this thing anyway. I love that. But I'm a spiritual alchemist. So I'm able to what? Teach others what? How to control their emotions, aka their ego self, their lower self. Get control of what's below your waist. That's the start. That's the first thing. If you want to change, that has to be under control. I just had an argument about greatness. Greatness in action and offense, yeah. But if you ain't great as a character, you can't make my great team. That's all. I got my own all-star great team that they only get there for the criteria that I set. The bar is so high, and there's a whole bunch of them there. That's why. So everybody's opinion counts to them. Moving on. And respectfully, I ain't got a problem with that at all. But again, because I've changed me, I can help you change you. That's what I do for you. Again, it's only to help. I'm not here to criticize, debate. No, I ain't got time for that nonsense. I'm here to help you. But I changed myself. How you changed? From being a street wannabe hustler, ignorant of myself, to what? Knowledge of self, a teacher of a philosophy that I created myself. Oh, here you go. No, I just know I practiced something all these years, and I changed it and made it my way, tailored it to my likings, and now it's mine. Simple as that. Right then, philosophy. This you talk, I ain't going there. But again, I'm doing what I think is best for me. Moving on. That's alchemy. Spiritually. All right. When I was ignorant, okay, I thought that I was the man. Yeah. Prove that theory wrong. What? Prison? Okay. Now I became what? An alchemist. Changed that fight. Changed that mode of thought real fast. Okay. That was over 40-something years ago now. So I keep reminding you, it ain't went nowhere. It's still there. But I keep putting distance. I started at 5, 10 years and 20 years. It's been, yeah, okay, 41 years. Every year it gets a little further back. But it ain't went nowhere. It's still there. Okay. But now, when I made my transformation to being good, living right, and what? Changed my life? That's alchemy at its best. And if it's for the better, no matter, and I tell my pastor, I got no problem with the Bible, got no problem with religion, but that's not what got me to God. My study of our ancient ancestor concepts, philosophy that I learned and mastered and practiced. Oh, I'm with that. Y'all can have what you want, but I got what works for me. That's all I'm saying. Moving on. And that's my philosophy, right thinking. And what's this? Now, when I became what? A right thinker. And by what? And be a spiritual alchemist. By being a spiritual alchemist, I changed my spiritual lifestyle. I became spiritually enlightened. Now I have a newfound respect for God. That's all spirit. He could care less about God. He thought even less. Okay, so I'm all in. And I tell my pastor, I took a whole different route. But when I got there, my dude was there. I always tell him, you got one book. I admire that. Why? So before I met my dude, I could care less about that book. I got respect for that book because of what he did with it. I said, other people, I don't respect the one. Y'all didn't do half the stuff that I talk about, so don't bring that book to me. Please, don't tell me nothing about that book that you ain't doing. So I see somebody who's doing it, I got nothing but respect for that. Okay, moving on. But I made the change. True alchemy is what? Changing something from one thing, ignorance, to what? Enlightened. That's right thing philosophy go. To be what? Spiritual alchemist to everybody who changed from being ignorant with not knowledge of themselves, would have knowledge of themselves. That's the change that you can make. That's the change I help you do. That's my point. I used to take rough ashes in masonry, somebody who didn't know Masonic law and rules. I would take them, bring them in, polish them up, dress them up, give them what they need to go, and send them out to the world shining. I do the same thing with right thinkers. It's all symbolic and conceptually. And I would take a rough ashes, somebody's ignorant in Masonic law, and I would perfect them, transform them through enlightening them to what they didn't know, and become Masons, masters themselves, know who they are symbolically, a whole different concept. But it works like a charm. Why? If you practice it, it'll work. Simple. Right thinkers, I can change you, anybody, from self-ignorance to have self-knowledge by practicing my philosophy that I give you. Practice it, use it, and you'll become an alchemist too. Why? You change yourself. I can't do it. You got to do the work. I'll give you the ingredients. I can give you everything you need to know. But you got to put the work in. Now, I do the same thing with my right thinking philosophy who don't know themselves. Okay, I give you the knowledge and instructions to help you do just that, to know thyself. That's my whole mission, to get all those who want to be a right thinker, consider to be right thinker, follow the practice that I give you, the philosophy I give to you, and learn the lessons, practice them, and you will become a right thinker. Why? You have knowledge of self. That's what right thinkers are. I give you what worked for me. I can only tell you what worked for me. I can't tell you about the Bible. Well, I didn't use the Bible. I can't tell you about the Quran. I didn't use the Quran. I can't tell you about the Torah. Didn't use it. I can tell you about my philosophical concepts from my teacher, Muatta Ashby, John Clark. I got a bunch of teachers who along the years, over 30 years, that I learned from different aspects and concepts. Now I got a whole bunch of fragments and dots. But because I do my own due diligence, I can connect the dots to see the big picture. That's why. And that's why I'm able to what? What do we got there? Oh, guarantee. So I can't read my right. That's why I guarantee my philosophy work. Why? I use it. It's simple. All right? And a right thinker who's still ignorant of himself is not a right thinker. Like a master mason. If you got 1 degree, 2 degrees, you ain't a master mason. You're an independent or a fellow craft. You're working towards your mastery. So if you're still a right thinker and you ain't reached the level of self-mastery, you're in training. And it takes time. It's okay. It don't happen overnight. You can't walk in here all of a sudden, hear 1 lesson, 2 lessons, all of a sudden you're a master, you're a right thinker. Don't work that way. I don't do honorary nothing. Okay? You earn it or not. Simple as that. I ain't gonna give you nothing. I want to become right thinker. No. It don't work that way. Okay, it ain't for sale. Like my man Burkina Faso, it ain't for sale. I want all those who follow my philosophy, right thinkers, to know themselves. That's it. And I would do anything I need to think I need to do to get that across to you to understand that. That's it. That's called teaching. By any means necessary. I got all kind of different ways I can present it to you. This is just one of them. Again, and because that's the what? The change that master oneself, a.k.a. I want you to be able to make that change for yourself. That's what self-mastery is. You gaining control of the lessons that's taught to you, and now you're practicing them, you're emulating them, and you become master in time. Again, a lot of people in a hurry. It don't work that fast. But again, if you don't know thyself, please don't claim to be the right thing until you do. I see a bunch of Christians claim to be Christians. Christians don't know that it's 3 degrees in religion also. The myth, the ritual, and then the actual mystical experience that will happen if you follow through. That's what you guarantee to happen for you. A lot of y'all don't do that, so y'all don't get that part. Y'all got the first 2 parts and think you got something and beating people over the head with a bunch of your nonsense. Okay? If you had it, you stop running up at the gym. I got a lesson for y'all coming up. Speculative Christians over operative Christians. That's going to be for y'all who talk a good Christian game. Self-mastery. Again, this is the goal for all my right thinkers. It's the true form of alchemy when you can change yourself. I'm just giving you the tools to make it happen for yourself. Everybody thought alchemy was he could change lead to gold. It's all symbolic. It's all symbolic. Watch. When you go from self-ignorance to self-mastery, like me, that's alchemy. You change for the better. I use the caterpillar and the butterfly. The caterpillar will stay a caterpillar if it don't what? Go into metamorphosis to make that change. An ignorant person will live their whole life in ignorance until what? They get to the decision they want to do better and be better and get knowledge of self. That's the difference. And it's everybody's opportunity to do just that. Don't worry. Eventually, the only way you're going to get out of this cycle of life is what? Gain knowledge of self. Become aware of who you are. That way the spirit can go back to its maker. Now, in alchemy, what's this? Are those alchemists are all those who what? Make being them, being their best self. That's the goal in life. Again, ding, ding, ding. You are the motivator. You are the instigator. And you are the one who's going to put the work in. And guess what? By doing that, you are the beneficiary. It's called blessings. Okay? When your personal goal is to know thyself, by hook or crook, religious don't make a difference. You're what? Alchemist trying to what? Master oneself. That's the whole goal that right thinking philosophy wants you to practice. So if it's religion, I ain't gonna follow that at all. Again, I can tell you that. But when you change your person, the only person you can change is who? Yourself. And by doing that, that's true alchemy right there. You got to do it. You perform that change. And speaking of the concept right here, your ignorance, not knowing, is like lead. Get the symbology there? Symbolism for lead is you being ignorant. Me giving you knowledge of self, understanding that you can use and polish to become a better self, that's turning you from lead to gold. You went from ignorant to enlightenment. Enlightenment being gold. See the similarity there? See the symbology there? And watch this. Let me get out of here. Now, I want you to get it for yourself. I'm already golden. I'm trying to show you, you can go from lead to golden also. Watch this. From an ignorant state to an enlightened state. That's all it is. Spiritually, with knowledge of self. I don't do the Christian religious thing. It's all about spiritual philosophy that you can implement by learning. Alchemy, aka knowing for what? Knowing, changing lead, aka ignorance, into gold. Symbolically, that's self-knowledge. One person from being ignorant to being enlightened. You was dull when you was ignorant. You didn't know that. But when you got that light, now you shine like new money. Now you're golden. The sun is golden. Gold is what? The unchangeable commodity. Lasts forever. That's the concept. That's the philosophy. That's the symbolism behind it. I was once lead. When you're ignorant, oh, you're lead. You just a heavyweight nothing. You ain't nothing again. Why? And then I became my own alchemist and I changed and became gold. That's the philosophical concept, symbolically concept. If y'all still looking at the Bible and thinking that people literally live, you really missing the point. You really missed the boat on that one. Wrong, swing and a miss. All right, but again, it's all metaphysical and it's all mental. Why? Because you got to put it to use from mental to practical. That means you can think it, you can understand it, now put it to use. Become an operative of what? Putting in your work as a chemist, alchemist, by changing yourself. And it's a concept that making change in oneself, what? For yourself. You can't change anyone but yourself. You start there. You start there. Because I started with me first. I'm helping you get there. That's my job as a sage. That's why I do what I do is for you. But I can teach you how to what? Change yourself. You got to what? Put the work in. And we all have that ability to what? To be what? Our own alchemist. I just try to point you in the right direction and help you along the way, because that's what it's all about. You changing you. I change me, so I can help you change you. That's my philosophy. That's what I think is lesson. And my whole goal is to do just that. Get you to know you. I ain't got nothing else to do, so I do it for you. And again, in closing, hope you enjoyed the lesson. May you all live to be 100. May 100 miles a day. So I'll never know that my right thinkers who know themselves have passed away. I'll be right back. I got more for you.